All right, you guys. It's Friday, which means Ask Me Anything Day. These are always well, I shouldn't even can't even say that. I was gonna say some of my favorite streams, but all the streams are kind of favorites to me. I like the reaction video streams. I like these. I like gaming. But this was a perfect. Friday is usually the Ask Me Anything day anyway, and that worked out perfect because I don't have a ton of time to stream today. So it would have sucked if it was a video game or reaction videos or something. Hi, Michael and Chrome. Jill is here. Jonathan and Justin. How did I like the Fighting Irish game? Oh, I liked that very much. I can't believe, to be honest with you, with the amount of injuries to star players we've had this year, that we're still alive. It says a lot for the coaching and the tenacity of that team. How old am I now? I have to think for a second. 60 freaking 3. That's a lot of numbers. Those are big impressive big impressive numbers. Well, actually, I recorded that a few days ago, but today was a bit eventful with the Pokemon reaction. I see Chrome says that was again, that was recorded a few days ago. But yeah, on January 1st, Netflix dropped Pokemon. Just gone. So I had to find someplace else to watch it. Connor says Sanders first pick, or what do you think? Depends on who gets the first pick. It's still up in the air. He'll be. I think he'll be first 2 for sure, but it depends on who gets it. Could be Travis Hunter, obviously, but him and Sanders will be probably the first 2. Just don't know which order. Definitely within those 2 will be within the first 3. Excuse me. Vulcan says, will you ever react to SMG4? That's a random question. I'd have to know who SMG4 is, and why would that be on my plate if I don't know who they are? Chrome says, that's still so odd to me, but I guess if the Pokemon company is doing daily uploads of the series to YouTube, then that's where most will go. Must be. That's all I could figure too, Chrome is. And I know they contract with the streaming services, but it just struck me as odd that as soon as the new year hit, it was like, no more Pokemon. Have I been to the NASA space station? No, unfortunately. I'm just a fan of NASA. I just like the things that they have done over the years. Appreciate the minds that work there. That's the only reason I wear the shirt. The Amazing Digital Circus. Yeah, I just did a reaction to that over at Grandpa Curtis' channel. Not a lot of interest in it. As a matter of fact, I'm still trying to figure out the channels and where the interest is going to be. I just posted Squid Game Season 2, Episode 1 here at Spaz Boys, and that might be getting taken down here and put over there too, because seems to be no interest in that here, which that surprised me. Oh, what the hell am I here? Wolverine, thanks for the super chat, pal. Flying home Sunday says, can't wait to leave Europe. Europe not being kind to you? Solar says it must have been a Pokemon company choice. I'm thinking so. Netflix would be insane to drop it. After all, it's the most profitable thing ever. Yeah, I would think so. And as Chrome said, with them posting to the episodes to YouTube, that must be where the company wants them to be. PK says, good thing of you being bald is you look the same more than 10 years later. I wouldn't say the same. A lot more wrinkles. 10 years ago, there was a lot more color in the facial hair. Vulcan says the same. There it is. Same people who help make the Amazing Digital Circus are same people who make SMG4 videos every Saturday around noon. Okay. Toshinden says, who's my favorite pro wrestler? Well, I'm old. So, all my favorites in athletics and stuff go back to my childhood, and it was always Bruno Sammartino. Of the more recent wrestlers, it was Undertaker. I just think that that gimmick and Mark Calloway's abilities are just next level. Connor says, I still think it's going to be Texas versus Ohio State now. Well, Connor, Texas and Ohio State do play in the semifinals. They play a week from today, and the day before that, Notre Dame plays Penn State. The Disney voiceover guy? Yeah, Madeline, I've seen those. Is that who you're talking about? Well, no, Disney voiceovers? I thought you were talking about the guy who does all the Disney voices. You know, he goes into the parks and speaks to the characters in their voice. He's pretty cool. I watched him for a while. I mean, it gets to be the same thing over and over again, though, so I haven't watched in a while, but he's very good. Chrome says, oh, I honestly haven't aged that much since I first saw you. That's the best. That's the winning post today. You guys are all competing for second now. How much time a day, a week do you spend reacting? Well, I've outlined my schedule before. I get up 5:15 every day, 7 days a week. And the first thing I do is we have a daily 3 videos we do at our Patreon at the Goosh. So I do those first. And then the rest of the day depends on what's on that schedule that day. Usually some Goosher 100 videos for the Goosh. Then whatever I am going to be posting to Spaz Boys, Grandpa Curtis, or the Curtis Candy channels. My days go, between recording, editing, and everything else, my days go from, again, 5:15. I'm usually done by 5, usually. When we're getting ready to go to New York, I took that week where we were gone, and I was getting videos done ahead of time. Then I don't get done till like 8. PK says still young enough to beat up Spaz Boy. Oh, A Silent Voice is one of the best ever. A Silent Voice was fantastic. Love that movie. Michael Lawn says, out of curiosity, do you know the guys on the channel Bad Medicine? They're former wrestlers. No, I don't. I've never heard of them. I don't know them. Chrome says, I just checked as well. Must be a worldwide thing. The first Pokemon season is gone from my Netflix as well. But the last few seasons of the original are still there, are they? Just not the new Pokemon anime. Huh, that's really weird. Again, must just be a contractual thing. I was concerned for a little while because I looked around. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then just for shits and giggles, I don't even know what made me do it. It's like, oh, let me look at YouTube just in case. And there it was. Nosferatu, Connor? Nah, no plans. I might watch it, when it goes to streaming. There's enough interest in that I would do that, but I'm not going to make my way to the theater for it. And now I'm thinking the Godzilla movie that I posted to the Grandpa Curtis channel, it looks like it's doing well enough to support doing some more movies, so I'm hoping to be able to have movies lined up to do it at the channels as well. It's just, like I say, it's so difficult to determine where to put what content because of YouTube. YouTube makes it tough. See, now what happens is, Grandpa Curtis being a newer channel.
Here I am. I was on the toilet. I must have eaten something funny. Like a clown or a comedian or something.
I ate something funny. Yeah, I knew Hal was going to ugh that. But when I post something over at Grandpa Curtis, there wasn't a lot of initial interest in the movie, in Godzilla -1. But what happens there is there was enough interest that after a few hours, YouTube gives it another try and takes it out to the greater YouTube community. There it did really well. So, but that won't happen at Spaz Boys. They cut you off. If I upload something at Spaz Boys and there's not immediate interest from the community, it's done. They don't give it another shot. So that's what I'm saying. I'll probably end up having to take down the Squid Game reaction from here because you can't put the same videos up on 2 different channels, and move it over there and see how it does. Going Nowhere says, do you believe in karma or what goes around comes around? Do I believe in karma as an actual effect or something that takes place? No, I think it's just coincidence. I mean, karma, things can be very karmic in the way they unfold, but I think it's just the nature of the universe unfolding, and sometimes karmic events happen. Excuse me, guys. Jill says, my sister just called me on the phone and asked what I want for dinner tonight. What do you think, Curtis? Well, my go-to is always pizza. Oh, I am having pizza tonight, too. My great niece and great nephew are here with us, going to spend the night and hang out. And whenever they come over, we buy the little pizza shells and pizza sauce, and everything, so everybody can make their own pizza. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. I'll be doing pizza. Excuse me. Thomas says that Godzilla Minus movie was really good. Oh, so it was. I felt so bad for him. Yeah, as I said in the reaction, even that is definitely the best story I've seen within a monster movie. It was phenomenal. Pizza or burgers? Those are my go-tos. You just had pizza, Chrome? Yeah, it's ridiculous how often I could eat pizza. Tyler says, do you have a favorite James Bond film? Not really. I only watched a couple of them. Not a big spy movie type. So the James Bond movies never really appealed to me that much. I've seen a few because a lot of them came out when I was younger. And back then, you'd go to any movie. Especially, you got to remember, we didn't have the internet or anything. So if you wanted a night out, it was the movies. So I've only seen a couple. Yeah, I heard that, Lionheart, that Godzilla Minus One was supposed to have a sequel. I heard. I'll watch it. And you could see that's what they were brewing at the end there. Can I still handle pizza? Oh, yeah, I handle pizza just fine. 1776, around there.
Video, but now you have Godzilla 1985 views.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, Hal says. Chrome says, I feel like you might have more luck with the Sonic films. The third is in cinemas right now, so that should help when it comes streaming around the 20th. Yeah, I am. Excuse me, guys. It's just finding out which of the two channels are going to be friendlier to a specific type of content. Now, I see that here at Spaz Boys, which is good with me because I really enjoy Solid JJ. Looks like everybody's getting into the Solid JJ reactions. The Stephen He reaction did okay, which leads me to think that I'll probably go back and watch some Brandon Rogers if everybody's into that type of humor, because I certainly am. But I thought, I'll see how it's doing right now, but I thought that Squid Game would do quite well there. But it doesn't seem to be the case. So like I say, I can move it and see how it does over at Grandpa Curtis. Yeah, it's very, very, very slow. I'll give it a little while longer just to see if it picks up anywhere. Let's see here. But right now, extremely slow. We'll see how it goes. Japan has Godzilla. What does your country have? Rosie O'Donnell. She's our answer to Godzilla. They look a lot alike. Chrome says, a little worried for Noriko when we get a sequel. You might not have noticed, but she had a little gift from Godzilla on her neck at the end. I didn't catch that, but it was pointed out to me. Yeah, that's not good. But the writing in this one was just so amazing. I'm definitely there for a sequel. It was so good. That would be fun, Lionheart. A Godzilla open world game. Yeah, you have to bring a lot of the classic monsters in there to battle it out. Godzilla would die from obesity in the U.S., Jonathan says. Probably. Oh, Jonathan said, "What is this Godzilla movie? Where is it, and how good is it? Godzilla is greater than Kong." This one is the Japanese movie. It's called Godzilla minus one. It's, again, for me, by far probably the best monster movie I've ever seen. Definitely the best story within a monster movie. The story is amazing. The human story within the film. Jar Bink says, "You ever watch Guns Akimbo?" No. The movie is a ton of stupid fun and seems right up your alley, although it might be too violent for YouTube. Well, I have to, obviously, to bring a movie reaction over, I have to edit it up anyway, so a lot of times I just cut the ultra violent parts to try and keep YouTube from having an aneurysm. L Train says, "Greetings, Curtis. Think this is my first live chat. Oh, I'm glad you're in. Been binging old family TTYL videos, especially the Adam West ones. All those are fun. But the Try Not to Laughs are over at Grandpa Curtis now. It's starting to seem anyway, like Grandpa Curtis is going to be the Family Guy Try Not to Laughs. They're big over there, and probably where the movies will end up, possibly where the series like Squid Game end up, and here will be. I'm really enjoying watching The Fat Electrician and a lot of the classic stuff we watch here. Michael says, "On the topic of movies, ever seen a Japanese movie called Kamikaze Girls?" No, is it like the bad old beach movies we used to have here in the 50s, like Bikini Kamikaze Girls? If you're going to be a kamikaze, you might as well, be hot. Hey, mister, holiday was good. Jonathan says, "Spaz Kid doing fine." He is. They just got back, was it yesterday, from Trinidad. That's where his fiance is from. They spent the holidays there. They just got back. Always think about him watching SAO Bridge. Always laughing watching you too. Yeah, it was fun times. Very, very fun times. All right, Lionheart, thanks for being in. Jill says, "Between Shin Godzilla and Godzilla minus one, which do you think is the most popular among the Japanese fan base?" I don't know. I don't know anything about the numbers or anything along those lines. Of course, I don't have any firsthand knowledge of Shin Godzilla. I just know Godzilla minus one was freaking amazing. So good. L Train says, "So wrestling question. In your heyday, what is one move you love seeing that you would have loved to learn how to do that you never did?" Oh, boy. There's not. I enjoy watching wrestlers come up with bright, innovative moves. It's one of my favorite things. But I don't spend a lot of my time wishing I could do them because my style of wrestling was just hardcore. It was all brute force, blunt force trauma. So within that, there's not a lot that I wanted to do that I didn't do. When I see big moves, I appreciate them, but they weren't anything that in most cases I could do, and in some cases that I'd be interested in doing. Hey, there's Spaz Kid. Yeah, we're just talking about your Spaz Kid. I was telling the gang how you just got back. Haven't played Path of Exile 2. Waiting for it to be free? Path of Exile 2. What is that one, dude? Yeah, as I said, for anybody who just came in, Spaz Kid and his fiance just got back from Trinidad. Had a big day of travel yesterday. Was answering somebody else's question. Okay, sorry about that. And I butted right in. This is the way I am. It's an ARPG? Oh, okay. Favorite parody movie, Tyler? Oh, probably Scream. Probably those. Yeah, so you guys are way, way more up on, obviously, Brax especially, way more up on gaming than I am. Um, hey, oh, Brax, while you're here, the now why did the title go right out of my head? The game you and I played together. Why is the title gone? Well, because I've been hit with folding chairs. The a scary movie. That's what I meant. Yeah, the ones that scream takeoffs. The game that you and I played together here in a stream just got sponsored for this upcoming month for next month actually at the Goosh, and I had mentioned that to SL that we had already started playing it, but he said no, that's fine. Just pick up where you guys left off. So no, it wasn't Resident Evil 5. There was one other. I'll have to get the title. It's driving me nuts now. It's ridiculous. I mean, SL and I were just talking about it. And it's already gone. Out of my head, the title. I can picture the game. Let's see. Oh, Brax got it. Happy you're here. Yep. So we'll have to see how our schedules work out. If it works out, you're here with me at a time, because he's doing a double header of it, so it'll be like an hour and 20 minutes of gameplay. If it's here at a time when you're here and you want to, we'll record it together. Yes, it was a happy you're here. Big Green says, Curtis, your child wants cocaine. Well, duh, don't we all? Austin says, have you ever lost a wrestler well or at or in a match like Owen Hart? I'm not sure what you mean. Have I ever been on a show where a wrestler died? No, fortunately. Yeah, free money, Spazkid says, right. But in fairness, I don't have to pay for it because he said Chrome owes him coke, not me. I can't afford cocaine. Bink says, many people told me to say no to drugs, but I'd say if you're speaking with drugs, you're far too gone anyway. Ha ha.
Holy shit! 2 weeks straight with 0 notifications. I even turned them off.
Big surprise
and turned
there.
it right back on, hoping it would fix it, but hasn't. I would drag my balls across shattered glass for 15 miles while getting my ass gaped with a traffic cone if it meant getting spaz
Wow.
notifications again.
That's dedication. I like that.
My ass.
YouTube. Wow. Nick Cage really went all in on that one.
Speaking of Sonic,
Yeah, and
Yes, talk about
YouTube will tell us
me.
that doesn't happen.
I did watch Sonic 3 last year. It is fantastic.
Is it?
The best
Everybody's
part out of
saying
the
that.
3. Get ready for some Jim Carrey shenanigans and Dragon Ball Z battles, if you do get to the 3rd one.
Note how I said nothing. Hal said, let me speak first, you corporate shill. But it's 20 out of 10.
Ugh. Hal's throwing a lot of ughs. Yeah, I've heard, Big Green, I've heard nothing but good things about Sonic 3. Actually, I've heard nothing but good things about the whole series. So, see, the thing is, I have to be strategic with the movies because they take so much time. I have to figure out, places I can put them, and then after I record them, it's usually several days of just trying to edit here and there wherever I can. But I would like to watch the Sonic movies. Chrome says, I might have a film you can watch for the channel. It's a delightful little film. I'm sure you'll love the panning and establishing shots. Oh, Dragon, that's terrible. I came across a dead body in the woods. I liked it so much I came again. Ah! Big says, Dragon, you Logan Paul? L Chain says Sonic broke the curse of bad video game movie adaptations. Yeah, it certainly seems that way because there's been a lot of really bad ones. Yeah,
The 3 movies are kind of like the first 3
I wouldn't
games.
mind watching them
The
at all.
first one is good, but the sequels are better, especially the third.
That does sound interesting. Like I say, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing with Squid Game. If it's gonna stay up at Spaz Boys, or if it's got to go over to Grandpa Curtis. And once I get that squared away, I'll start looking for a time that I can record another. Maybe we'll hey Austin, thanks for joining up the channel. I'll have to start trying to find a time. I don't see why. I can tell you guys what I had on my list, but we can do we could insert Sonic next. Ooh, insert Sonic next. Looking for, where did I put that fucking list? Yeah, here it was. Some of the ones I had on my list. Dune, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Godzilla X Kong, Mad Max Fury Road, the next Pirates movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. And as far as series, I want to do Gen V and then more of the boys. And that's about it. Those are the ones I had lined up as potential ones. Chrome says insert. That sounds risque. We can avoid Barbie. Yeah, that one's way down on the list. It was just stuff that piqued my interest for one reason or another. And the more I've heard about Barbie, it kind of moves further down the list. Ooh.
Can you ask me out to dinner first? I'll even settle for McDonald's or something.
Still pricey. I'd rather we avoid the dinner and go right to the insertion.
Yesterday I said that I'm making an animation about Postal Dude versus Homelander.
Right.
How I won't be bossed around, except if she's young, has nice boobs, a great booty, a fit body, and most importantly, she's brunette.
Brunette?
Back to making the animation.
It's just like a little a little disclaimer type of thing in there. Dune is underwhelming, is it, Justin? I'm very curious about that one. Fury Road, I've heard a lot of good things about, Michael. Really? Chrome says that the Barbie movie was insufferable. That was one, to be honest with you, again, I put it on the list shortly after it came out, and then the more I would hear about it, my interest started fading more and more. Wow, James said, honestly, I walked out of Dune halfway. I might take this off the list. I trust you guys' opinions. This is where I get opinions on things that I watch. If everybody's saying Dune is that underwhelming, I might take that off. Damien, thanks for Super Chat, pal. Damien says, why do my friends keep freaking out when I tell them I got robbed? They keep asking me if I'm okay, if I'm hurt. Bro, Rob's pranks aren't that bad. No, been robbed. Chrome says, I know people like the Dune film, but I can't stand Denis Villeneuve. Is it Villeneuve? And his pretentious directing. He stretches everything out as long as possible. Obnoxious Frenchman. So probably what? Villeneuve? Am I the only one who had no interest in seeing the Barbie movie? Mine's going nowhere. Again, when it first came out, I was like, all right, that might be a funny little concept. But the more I've heard about it, the more it kind of, my interest just dissipated. T-Man, thanks for the super chat, pal. You mentioned you were a former wrestler. Yep. Would you have liked to work with Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or DX? Which wrestler did you feel safest working with? You mean out of those three? Because obviously I would have enjoyed working with all three of them. If I could only pick one, I think it would have been a blast to work with Austin. I just like the way he went about everything in the business. Obviously great on the mic, phenomenal in the ring, and just based on my style of wrestling, I think that would have made for the best match. I wouldn't say there's a wrestler I felt safest with. I felt safe with most everybody. I wouldn't be in there with them if I didn't trust them. My friend Dave, who wrestled as Danger, and he did well. He had a good career. Because we were so close, he was probably my most comfortable, him and my buddy Hoss, just because we worked together all the time. And we're close friends outside the ring. And that makes for, you have complete trust in somebody. You never think twice about doing anything. So it makes for good matches. Dragon says, yesterday I took my grandma to one of those spas where little fish eat your dead skin. That was way cheaper than taking her to a cemetery, dude. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, but back to T-Man. Now, if you're talking about names that you guys would have known as far as like the WWE guys and stuff,
about the Homelander
my favorite
versus
was
videos is that he
Snuka.
always seems to get paired up against people that far outclass him. Even in his guest appearance in Mortal Kombat, there's probably some people who could beat him. Hell, I feel I could kick his ass.
You should, Sonic. Whip the shit out of him. He's too smug for my liking anyway. That's a lot of dead skin, Big Green says. Indeed it is. Yeah, but T-Man, again, of the big names, I enjoyed Snuka because we had fun. I always had fun working with him. Hannibal says, congrats to Notre Dame beating Georgia. Yeah, it was defense played out of their minds. And the injuries keep mounting up, but they're going to have to try and figure a way to get another defensive performance like that this Thursday. Excuse me. Michael says, don't know if you saw my earlier message, but Diamond Dave, Mason Quinn, and the Answer Andrew are the wrestlers on the channel Bad Medicine.
Creeps.
Okay.
That is not how you drink milk, Homelander.
Oh, that was just, yeah, that was so cringy, creepy right from the get-go. Did a lot for setting up that character and the whole nature of the show, though. Chrome says, now Oppenheimer is actually good, but historically inaccurate. The man is a ghoul. Just go into it thinking it's from an unreliable narrator. Interesting. And Justin says, have you ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Is that actually a title of something? Everything Everywhere All at Once? It seems like a really big undertaking for a for a film. Seems like somebody was really feeling it. It is a real title? No, I have not seen that. But it seems like somebody's not afraid of a major undertaking when creating their film. No, I that's interesting. You would have. Oh, I was just going to say it's got to be some sort of comedy, and Chrome said it's an absurdist comedy. I would say it would have to be just by the title. Oh, I've heard that one, Dragon. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it leaves and never comes back. Sad. Chrome says this is it. A Chinese immigrant gets unwillingly embroiled in an epic adventure where she must connect different versions of herself in the parallel universe to stop someone who intends to harm the multiverse. Holy shit. Man, that sounds like several existential layers there or something. John says, do you have a favorite wrestling or boxing match?
Nothing wrong with a historically inaccurate movie as long as it's good. Gladiator 2 was great, but some of those Coliseum battles were so funny.
That's I'm you brought that up, Sonic. I haven't added that to the list yet. Gladiator 2, everybody's been talking about how great it was, and I haven't seen the first one yet, so I would like to do those two as well. Just off the top here, just for us 30 or so that are in here, for those of you who have seen it, if I were to jump into a pair or a trio of movies next over at Grandpa Curtis, if I was going to do Gladiator 1 and 2 or Sonic 1, 2, 3, which would you guys rather see? Chrome says, dang it, BG, you just got Sonic pushed down the list. Chrome says Sonic. James says Sonic. Again, I've yet to hear anything negative at all about those movies, which is unusual. You know, usually you find somebody who just had an issue with I'm sure Sonic is typing away right now. You know he's gonna. You know he's gonna vote the others. You haven't seen any of them, Michael? Me either. But I've just really started getting into the character at all, and it's just from the influence of the gang over at the Goosh at our Patreon that I've started to learn more about Sonic, and it's fun. James says, I heard Gladiator 2 is kind of woke. I don't know, though. I haven't seen it. Really? How would you... A movie like that? I guess you can... Woke eyes? Anything if you try hard enough. Michael says, I haven't been really interested in any movies since the first Joker. I'm really disappointed on how bad everybody said the second Joker movie was.
Here are some of my hot
I was
takes.
really looking forward
Nolan's
to that.
Batman movies are laughably bad. Jeffrey Dean. Morgan is insufferably bad as Negan in The Walking Dead.
Wow.
I don't care for James Gunn's DCU. Euphoria is terrible. The Batman is better than all. Nolan Batman movies. Combined media. Now forcibly shove sexual content into their movies. Because they're all losers.
Wow, Hal came out swinging. Wow.
Wow, Sonic, you pushed another movie franchise instead of your own.
I'm gonna push my head in the bathtub until I hear the menacing 16-bit music.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna push my head in the bathtub. I like that. T-Man, thanks for the super chat. He says, have you seen Austin Powers trilogy? No, just the first one. It's... Where do I have that posted, guys? It's either here or at the Grandpa Curtis channel, but I've only seen the first one so far, but I did a reaction to it. Those are hysterical. It was funny. Fat Bastard is my favorite character. Very vulgar in the best way. Yeah, it was... I'm not sure if you want to watch it. I can tell you. Let me see if it's... I think it might be at Grandpa Curtis. Let me see. Austin Powers. All right, no, it might be here. No, it is. It's right here at Spaz Boys. If you just search our channel for Austin Powers, it comes up. But that's I've only seen the one so far. Yeah, thanks, Chrome. Jill says, which movie ending that made you cry no matter how many times you watched it before? Field of Dreams. And you guys know me in titles. The Bruce Willis movie where they go into space to neutralize the asteroid. And now, of course, I've only watched them once, but I watched them for the channels. The Lord of the Rings films. Armageddon. Thank you, Mr. Resurrection. Yep, Armageddon. Chrome says, now the other game-based film we could do is Detective Pikachu, because obvious reasons, or your favorite game character Chris Pratt presents Mamma Mia Man. Yeah, Armageddon. Anything that's hard-hitting and emotional when it comes to parent-child stuff will typically get me, as you can tell with Field of Dreams and Armageddon. Michael says Fat Bastard is the best character in Austin Powers. Yeah, like I say, I liked the first one. I was surprised that another one you guys turned me on to that I didn't really think I would like that much, but ended up enjoying was the Home Alone movies. Those were good. Those were really cool. I've watched little bits of Dragon Ball Evolution, Chrome, just because you guys had told me how horrifically bad it was. That was a while ago, so I had to check it out. And yes, you guys were 100% right. That was painful, to say the least. Excuse me. Nacho, thanks for the super chat, pal. Excuse me. And Nacho says, video game movies get a bad rap, but a large amount of them were
Now, here's a
embezzling
question
schemes
to wrap
by
your brain
Louis
around.
Boll.
Is a
I
zebra
say
white with black stripes or
we
black with
should
white
image
stripes?
John Lennon again for good measure. Damn, dude, that's rough. That's really rough. Oh shit. Hold on, I missed Sonic's message
Now,
there.
here's a question to wrap your brain around.
Okay.
Is a zebra white with black stripes or black with white stripes?
I saw that addressed online by some educated goofball who presented why it was one or the other, and I don't even remember what the article said. That shows you how good my memory is. But that was apparently, whether a zoologist or whatever, but it was his field of study, and he could tell you definitively which is the case. Mr. Resurrection says Portal is among one of the easiest games to make into movies. The weirder, the more obnoxious, the more outlandish the plot you can come up with. It'll work in
Well, I'm
Postal.
an uneducated goofball, so I'm asking you.
don't. When it comes to educated, don't be looking to me. It's terrible. It wasn't even that long ago I read it, and I can't remember what he said, what the article said. But he had all the science to back it up and everything, which went right over my head. But he said he definitively knew. Jill says, well, zebras have dark skin under their fur, which will produce black fur. Oh. And now YouTube just completely dropped my YouTube studio. This is something relatively new, that we do now. All the years we've been streaming, this never happened until the last couple months. Now it happens with regularity. Going Nowhere says, what are the advantages to being or getting older? You can poop yourself again and have people feel bad for you. No. The advantages? For me, the only real advantage I can say is you've seen a lot of things, so you know how to avoid a lot of things that are just not worth your time. But other than that, I mean, not a lot of sterling advantages because obviously, your body starts to slow physically. You don't have the same pop that you once did. But I hesitate to say with knowledge comes experience. I've always thought that's kind of a misnomer. With age comes knowledge. All that age brings you is experience. Whether or not you decide to utilize that experience to try and make your remaining years easier is up to you. They try. Michael says, you'd think a competitor would capitalize on how many people are upset with YouTube. They try, but it's tough because YouTube's got that ingrained. First of all, they're ingrained into society. That's where everybody goes. If you want to look up something, you got a problem with your car, you want to look up how to fix it, you're going to go to YouTube. That's just, it's so ingrained now. And as bad as YouTube is, nobody can equal their monetization system. That's going to make it really tough for anybody else to really get off the ground. Right. Like Big Green says, they try, but YouTube just stomps them into the ground. Zeno says, what is one of your favorite songs right now? I got a lot of songs I enjoy. My favorite for some time has been Viva La Vida. I really like that one. But my favorite songs, I'm not against current songs. There's a lot of modern music that's come around that I've really enjoyed. But for me, that's one place, and it's not typically the case. For an old guy, I tend to have likes that lean more towards the more current eras. But a lot of my favorite songs would be older ones now. They've just stayed with me forever. Brother E says, also got back from Disney World last night. Had an amazing trip. That's awesome. I managed to go to every park about 3 times. Wow, nice. Went on all the rides. Lightning Lane saved tons of time. Also, I had met like 40 characters. That's a great trip. That's an amazing trip. Yeah, you'd need that well, you saw, Brother E, that Lightning Lane, because Brother E went down to Disney at the absolute busiest time of the year, But using that lightning lane, it's a saving grace. Jill says, you're still a fan of Coldplay? Honestly, I was never a huge Coldplay fan. I like them, don't get me wrong. But they're not a band that I follow fervently. It's just that one song was just so brilliant. My favorite rock band is probably still Queen. I'm a Freddie Mercury nerd. Freddie Mercury was a god of music as far as I'm concerned. Chrome says it doesn't help that payment processors have been known to throttle YouTube's competition. Yeah, it's going to be tough to usurp YouTube. It's not, you can never say something's entirely impossible, but it would be very difficult. Very difficult. Zeno says, some new songs, I can't get into most of them. Not all, but still, the old ones are the greats. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I'm not one of these old people that's like, you kids and your damn music. There's a lot of good music that comes out now. But it's just the one area where even the newer stuff has never been able to supplant my love for the originals. Brother E says Magic Kingdom on Christmas wasn't actually bad. Really, it was sold out that day. Brother E, how you have to make park reservations. I saw it was sold out that whole week. Epcot for New Year's Eve was amazing. I think the worst days were for Hollywood Studios on the 27th. Oh, wow.
What flavor of crayons is your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough one, Patrick. It depends on your mood, but I'm always game for a good cyan. But other than that, it depends on seasons, stuff like that. If it's cold day, hot day. I consider myself a connoisseur. Hey, Napoleon, I'm doing good. Michael says, I'm in my early 20s, and I'm one of those, you damn kids in your music. No, like I say, I fully admit there's some really good artists out there. I've heard a lot of songs over the recent years that I've enjoyed, but just nothing that could supplant some of the classics is my favorite. Tyler says, are you more of an optimistic person or a pessimistic person? Optimistic. In the respect that it's just like I've told the gang before, with doing reactions or whatever, watching a movie or going to a show, I always look to enjoy something. I'm not one of these people that goes in and I'm looking for reasons to tear it apart. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just not who I am. I like to have a good time, so I'm hoping something will be good. So even in a movie or a series, I will overlook obvious flaws if overall it's a fun experience, because I don't care about those little flaws. I just want to have a good time. Christian says purple crayons are the bomb. Yeah, they're kind of bullies in the box, but yeah, they're all right. Brother E says, yeah, Curtis, Hollywood Studios was ridiculously packed. That park's gotten really, it's got all the latest stuff in it. It's gotten really bad.
Y'all gosh darn youngins, and y'all devil worshipping music. Just let me listen to Limp Bizkit, you Limp Bizkit.
Tell him, Sonic. Tell him. Hollywood Studios was ridiculously packed. We waited about 50 minutes just for eating Woody's lunchbox. Wow. Alien Saucer was 110 minutes, and Alien Swirling Saucers is not a great ride. So him saying it's 110 minutes is ridiculous. Toy Story Land is too small and packed up badly. It is too small. It is. I wasn't that impressed with Woody's lunchbox. Were you? Or no, I don't know if you got a chance to eat there, whether what do they call it? The Roundup, barbecue Roundup or whatever they call it. We were not impressed by the food in there, which is unusual. Usually Disney's food is amazing. L Train says it sucks because I grew up as a rap and hip hop fan, and the music in that genre nowadays is the same generic sound and simplistic lyrics and 12 different rappers whose names begin with little. See, I never minded hip hop. I've never been a big fan. There's been a number of hip hop songs I've enjoyed over the years. Much more hip hop I've enjoyed than in recent times than country. I don't mind a lot of the old country. I can't take the newer country. Sweet Dude says, did you do anything for New Year's now? Again, my schedule, I'm up 5:15 every morning. I am not staying up till midnight and fighting to stay awake, wanting, more importantly, to watch videos just to see the new year come in. Chrome says, I'm really curious to see how Disney competes with Epic Universe when it's complete. Hey, I got to give Universal all the credit in the world. Back during during COVID, when Disney as a company, had made some kind of sideways comments about the theme park side of things, Universal jumped on it and said, "Hey, listen, we're balls out. We are going to give the greatest theme park experience in the world. You just watch." And they've stayed to it. They do things really well there. I love those parks. It's my wife that's a Disney fanatic, and she can't deal with the idea of being in Orlando and not going there. But I give Universal a lot of credit. Their rides are amazing. They've really, really picked up on, excuse me, the food and the lodging and the theming. And now you got this massive expansion coming. They're doing a lot of good things. Roundup Barbecue, the dining service. Yes. Did not go eat there. As many people said, the food is mediocre. It 100% is, brother. You missed nothing. The theme seems very cool. It was cool. It was cute. We went to the Mama Melrose for dining with Fantastic package instead. I like Mama Melrose. Yeah, the theming is cool. It's not among the best themed restaurants that they have on property, and the food is very average. And again, that is unusual, because the one thing I can say, and Brother E, I'm sure will back me up on that, for the most part, the food at Disney World is nuts. Really good. Let's see, Sweet Dude says, I saw a roller coaster recently that goes to a cave.
They're always
then
called
intentionally
something
stops
like
where it reaches the
Lil
destroy
Young,
track
Big
for
E
going
Machine
in
Gun
reverse.
X62. And then their rapping sounds like they're on sleeping pills.
I heard a lot of people that are hip-hop fans complaining about the current crop. So there's got to be something to that. Yeah, that's Expedition Everest. That coaster is called, Sweet Dude. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good coaster. It's not one of my must-do rides when I get there, only because I've been on it enough times, and it's honestly tough for a thrill ride to get to me. Maybe it's because I'm old and I don't care if I die, so I don't have that innate fear. The only coaster I've been on recently where I was like, this scared me a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy them, but as far as scaring me was at Universal, the Rip Rocket, I think, what do they call it? Rip Rocket roller coaster, Rip Ride Rocket, whatever they call it. When you take off on that thing and you start up and you're 90 degrees going up to that first peak, I remember even me, I'm looking around a little bit going, why the fuck did I think this was a good idea? That one's scary. Going Nowhere says, have you ever had the flu? Many times, sure. Yeah, I agree, Sweet Dude. He says, I feel like half the thrill is not knowing what's going to happen. Sure. And on a ride like that, like Expedition Everest, I've been on it so many times, there's nothing new. Now, I still enjoy doing it, but it's not, it doesn't have that same appeal. Now, on the other side of the coin, you can get rides like, again, you guys know me and names.
My coworker brought donuts into work. I had one donut and went for another. She told me, Peter, only one donut per person.
What the hell?
I told her that if this donut isn't going in my stomach, then it's going up her ass.
You did the right thing, Peter. You did the right thing. One donut. Tell that bitch to shut up. I was starting to say is, help me with the name of the ride, guys. The one in Avatar Land. Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage, now, to me, that one never gets old. It's just such an amazing adventure. Same with Soarin'. I can go on Soarin' over and over and over and never get tired of it. But coasters, after I do them several times, it's like, I can take it or leave it. I actually really like the coaster in Toy Story Land, just because it's more of an experience than a thrill ride. John H. says, what's the sickest you've ever been? COVID was pretty good. It's not close to being the sickest, though. I felt like crap, but probably many years ago, I couldn't even tell you what made it that special, but a stomach bug I got that lasted a couple days, where it was just nonstop puking and shitting, and that was probably the worst. Jill says, do they still have for the Harry Potter rides? I'm not sure what you're asking, Jill. I'm not sure what you mean. Still have what? Am I Canadian? Nope. Americano. Any coasters that made you throw up? No, I've never thrown up on a coaster. No, and when I was younger, it used to be like a game. We'd go to the different theme parks when I lived in California, and we'd see how many times we could go on them in a row. I felt a little nauseous, but I've never actually thrown up from one. Oh, that's cool. Brother E says, also California Grill, we got the window view for the mini Christmas fireworks. That's cool. That's a great spot to see them. Went at 8 p.m. on the dot for the best view. That's nice. And Brother E also says, Curtis, the food was my favorite for Disney. It's so good. We went to Via Napoli, my favorite pizza place in the world. Storybook. So now that's a great experience and great food. California Grill is good. Ohana's good. Boathouse. Oh, yes, I have been Boathouse. Boathouse is good. Tony's Town Tavern. Sana, Topolino Terrace. My wife loves Topolino Terrace. Shikaishi, that one I haven't been to, and Space 220. Sana was my favorite. Space 220 is a great experience. The food, everybody said, is good. It's not my type of food. You guys know me and my limited tastes. So it's almost a waste of money for me once I've seen it, because the experience is cool, but the food is much too high end for my taste. I'm sure there's, Major Muffalo says, I'm Canadian. I would say we almost always have some Canadians in here.
Before I forget again, I
Gimster
finished
hasn't been
Dragon
here.
Quest
Gimster.
3 last year. My review. If you're not me, you'll like it. Okay, let me be a little fair. I enjoyed a lot of the game music, graphic story, and some of the mechanics. The story really captured my attention with some twists I didn't expect. And gotta love those Toriyama designs.
Interesting. Good review. Brother E says, honestly, Space 220 is a one and done. Yeah, me too. Would not go back as there are many other places to eat. Yeah, and it's wildly expensive. And I don't mind paying for food if it's really that exceptional. And again, to me, it wasn't. Now, as Brother E said, if any of you are going to Disney World, if you can work Space 220 in financially and everything, it's worth seeing because it's really cool. But then it's like, okay, seen it. Oh, of course I've seen Attack on Titan. I love Attack on Titan, Jonathan. They're all up at the Goosh, our Patreon. I've seen videos of it. Johan says you should travel to Dubai and ride the world's fastest coaster. I've seen videos of it. Looks pretty cool. Let's see. Chrome says I'm going back to Florida in 2027. We won't go to Disney, just Universal this time to see the new parks. Good call. I'll probably book the Boathouse in Disney Springs for my family, though. Very cool. Yeah, I really had wanted to get down to Universal again before they bring everything in, just to hit the parks once more. But I'm probably not going to get a chance. We have so much going on early in this year that I'm not going to be able to spend the money to go down there. Jonathan says, food is almost never good enough to pay a ton of money for. I'd rather have more steak than gold on it. See, I don't mind if it's really exceptional. And on the same token, like I've been to a couple of steakhouses. I'm a big steak nut. And steakhouses, by their nature, charge exorbitant prices, even more exorbitant than I know the actual meat to be. but you get a one and done. If you're going to charge me those rates and it's not really, really good, something I can't get elsewhere, fuck you, I'm done with you. It's just on principle. I'm not paying premium prices. And another thing that annoys me about restaurants too is you'll have a favorite restaurant. Tell me guys if you agree. If I love the food there, I understand that the prices of everything goes up, especially now in the current economy. If you need to raise your prices, raise your prices. Don't cut the portion sizes. That might be the fat guy in me talking, but that irritates me. I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand that your overhead will go up, that the price of food across the board has gone up dramatically over the last few years. So raise your prices for whatever you need to make your profit. Don't either cut the portion size or start to skimp on the ingredients. That drives me nuts. Sweet dude, one water, please. That'll be $59.99. Yeah. Jonathan says, Curtis, you should visit Germany. We have great food here. Don't worry, it's not vegetarian. We love flesh. Well, the German section of Epcot I really enjoy. Brother, he says, by the way, for Disney World, between March and September, they're doing 35% discount for vacation, 5 days or more. Yep. And dining plan is included for free. Way to yeah, I knew they were going to be coming up with big things to combat Universal's expansion. And we're pass holders, so we get good deals aside from those. Brother, he says, Topolino Terrace was very cute. We enjoyed the character breakfast. Yes. I would go back there. Us too. I thought it was the best character meal. Storybook was fun, especially meeting the queen who is trans. Also,
I like the
Storybook is probably my favorite
to warriors,
character.
Mages, and thieves and whatnot. My party consisted of a martial artist, a priest, and a clown. It was funny. The voice acting Japanese version was also great. Localization was occasionally so bad it's funny, though.
Interesting. Good review, Sonic. Chrome says, I get that. If it costs a lot, it better be worth the cost. Right, exactly. I've been to a lot of Michelin star restaurants. Yeah, that just, again, and I don't feel like, and I know you're the same way, Chrome, and I'm sure most of you guys are. I mean, in general, here we're all have similar types of backgrounds as far as our economic status, social status, so on and so forth. I'm not going to pretend to like something because it's cool to like it. I don't give a fuck. I would never pay for a meal because it's a place to be seen. So it's like, if I'm paying you premium dollars, you better give me some good goddamn food. If I show up to your restaurant, it's high end, you're charging big prices, and you bring me out a little piece of meat like this, you can go fuck yourself. And I will tell you that in the restaurant. Oh, Dragon. I've heard a joke similarly put to that. He says, last night I was having sex with my German girlfriend. It got really distracting when she started yelling her age. Oh, Sweet Dude says, shout out Outback that has a free bloomin' onion once in a blue moon. Well, my wife and I love those bloomin' onions. Love them, Sweet Dude. They're so good. Going Nowhere says, where were you when you first heard about the 9/11 tragedy back in 2001? I was...
Actually, I live under a bridge. Curtis, fuck you for assuming my wealth and status.
Sorry, Sonic. Present company excluded. Sorry. At 9/11, I was at work. At the time, I was working on a garbage truck. I was picking at the time, not driving. So me and my partner, John, who's a good friend of mine, great dude, we're near the end of our run that day. So when we got done, we got to go home. So it was 9 whatever. And we're on our last few streets, and we're out picking, and lady comes to her door, says, hey, did you boys hear about the Trade Center? We're like, no, what about the Trade Center? She said, a plane just hit it. And the first thing we asked was, intentionally? And she said, they don't know yet. They don't know what the hell happened. And so, of course, we hurried to get done. We told our driver, his name was Donnie, to pull up news radio on the truck's radio so we could start figuring it out. And then I got home as quick as I could to
fucking complain about prices in my restaurant. or we'll find out how much I can sell your corpse for. Listen, you Muppet. Pricing is like
Muppet, there you
crafting a
go.
dish. It's all about balance. First, you source the finest ingredients. Then you mix them with passion and skill, creating a masterpiece. So if you can't appreciate that, then maybe try a fast food joint where a cardboard burger is the chef's special. Got it.
Why?
Now sit down and enjoy the bloody perfection on your plate.
Somebody's a little bit fucking antsy today. To be honest with you, Gordon, I went to your restaurant. Do you have that whole section? There's a huge Harrah's Casino, about 2.5 hours to the west of us here. My wife did an overnight there, and there's a whole section of Gordon Ramsay restaurants there. And I did not say any bad words because the food was a little pricey, but it was worth it. I mean, it really was exceptional. And even the thing, like the pizza place, even there I couldn't complain. The pizza wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't because it was bad. It was just a style of pizza that I didn't care for as much. So yes, I can say I didn't have any complaints about your place. Some of the breakfast foods that were there were amazing. Goku loses to a heart virus. I always love that screen name. Thanks for the super chat, pal. And he says, "Hey brother, have you played Sea of Thieves?" No. My special needs son loves it, but he tends to love rareware games. Rare speaks to kids with Fragile X. Oh, really? Sea of Thieves. No, I'm not familiar with that one. Interesting. I'm not sure on that one. Tyler says, "Do you want to be buried or cremated when you die?" I've always told my wife, I don't give a shit. Throw me out in the backyard for all I care. I'm dead. I'm done with burn me, bury me. Bury me straight down with just my feet sticking out. I really don't care. Sea of Thieves is fun, Michael says. Oh, Jill says it's an Xbox exclusive game. Oh, okay. Chrome says, I do have a bone to pick with Gordon. I went to his burger place in Edinburgh a week ago, and the food was lukewarm. Whoa. Apparently there were only 4 servers for the entire place because no more hiring. Oh, shit. Now, I can't complain that, again, that's the one time we've been there, and at this casino, Gordon has, it's like, was it 3 or 4 little restaurants? It's like his own little food court. And the food was good. And again, in fairness, even the pizza that I didn't care for wasn't because it wasn't good. And my wife loved it. It was just not my type. It's not the way I like it prepared. That's all. Zuchan says, hello, sorry I'm late. I was helping my mom fill out some important papers. No problem. Crow says, got it. We'll taxidermy you and stick you on a live stream. That'd be fine with me. You guys know me. I'm not a believer in the hereafter or anything like that. So it's just like, when I'm done with whatever the hell this is, I'm done with it. I don't care what you do with it. Excuse me. Brother, he says, Yorkshire fish and chips in Epcot is better than Gordon Ramsay fish and chips food chain. Oh, I do. Yeah, I like the fish and chips in Epcot. Yeah, Brother, he's right. But as you know, I mentioned.
What, when you die, Curtis, I'll feed you to Brian.
Oh, that'd work. No, not to Brian. Oh, fuck Brian. Feed me to Stewie. Hold on, I forgot what it was. Oh, the Yorkshire fish and chips, yeah. But as we told you guys, at Epcot, they have the different countries of the world. And the restaurants there, everything is absolutely authentic to that nation. It's all imported. Even in Italy, like for that pizza, they even import the water that they use in making the pizza dough and everything. So the fish and chips are great. Oh, my wife and I try and stop there every time we get to go. Brother, he says, also Avatar Flight of Passage is heavily overrated? You think so? I like it a lot, especially with those wait times for it. The best ride in AK is for sure Safari Trail. Safari Trail is a blast, and Everest. Also, the Parrot Show was fun. Many pun jokes, yeah. I would disagree with you on that one. Just a matter of taste. But I like Passage better than Everest. I love Flight of Passage, but I like those types of immersive rides. And again, I have no issue with Expedition Everest. It's just that I've been on it so many times. I still enjoy the ride, but there's no excitement to it because I've got the whole thing memorized.
I would hope some people would cry at my funeral when I kick the bucket.
Why do you care? You won't be there?
Right.
Bitch, what do you mean I won't be there? Are they going to bury an empty casket?
And Hal just laughs at him. Empire Justice fish and chips include French fries. Yeah, that's the chips. And they are at the England spot in Epcot. They are so good. So good. The one thing I found that Epcot did that I was told by you guys, Big Green will know. I got a pretzel in Germany. I love pretzels. And it was really hard. I was disappointed. Usually I like it when something is hard, especially at my age. But then I was told by somebody, and it turns out, I think it was Big Green that told me this person was full of shit, that they make them that way over there because you dip them in your beer to soften them up. And I don't even remember who it was that told me that, but somebody that apparently doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Am I getting that right, Big Green? They were full of shit? Because it's unusual for Disney not to have top-end food, but that pretzel, the flavor was okay, but it was so hard you couldn't really enjoy it. Jonathan says they're actual fish and chips because it sounds like a weird combination. No, it is. It's fish. It's good. Jonathan says it's someone from Germany. I never saw that. A hard pretzel usually means it's old. That's what I see, because that's what I thought when I got it, and then I was told this, and I think it was Big Green. He might be away from his computer right now. I think it was Big Green that told me here that whoever told me that was full of shit. It was just some random. It's not somebody I knew. He said they were full of shit. They should not be hard like that. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I got bad information. I'll have to try it again. It must be I just got a bad pretzel then, because again, I'm a pretzel fanatic. I love a hot pretzel, and I was so disappointed because again, everything in Disney is so authentic and so good. Zuchen said, did you hear about the multiple plane crashes that happened around the world? It's crazy how it all happened in a week. Yeah, considering, when I was a kid, unfortunately, plane crashes, because of the technology, just wasn't advanced. Plane crashes were not that unusual at all. And now, over the last 20 years or so, you never hear of them. So to have that many happen in a short amount of time. Brother, he's saying to Chrome, my unpopular opinion, Avatar Land is overrated. They need a roller coaster ride in that area. I like both rides there, but the wait times are ridiculous. I'll only use Lightning Lane for there. I agree with the wait times are ridiculous. I don't think it's overrated though. I really like it, especially at night. I just think it looks really cool at night. I love the glow at night and everything. But you're not wrong about the wait times. We've gotten to where if we can't afford to factor in the Lightning Lane to get the Lightning Lane while we're down there for at least some of the days, we just don't go because it's really not a good experience if you can't. So we'll wait until we save up enough that we can use the Lightning Lane or afford the Lightning Lane. Gimster says, Big Green, you damn nerd, are you back at? Gimster, you came in just too late. Somebody was looking for a Canadian earlier, had a question for Canadians. And I had said I hadn't seen Gimster yet. And now we have a question for Germans, and Big Green's away from his device. Chrome says, so any thoughts on the thing going on with the UK and Elon? Well, Chrome, you know me and what a fanatic I am about free speech. So I'm with Elon on that. If that's what you're talking about, I'm sure. I can't imagine Brits putting up with this. I mean, people getting arrested because they hurt somebody's fifis on the internet. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, there's Big Green. He says, come to Deutschland, man. Those pretzels are going to have you make a mess in your pants, and not the brown kind. But Big Green, you're the one who told me, right, that guy was full of shit. That told me that the pretzels are supposed to be hard. Oh, this is okay. I've got to talk to my wife about that. Well, thanks, Johan. I appreciate that. Yeah, the pretzels aren't hard, he says. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was Big Green that told me that guy was full of shit, because I know Big Green just got back. I was telling about that time I got that pretzel in the Germany pavilion in Epcot, and the flavor was good, but it was so hard you couldn't really enjoy it. And then some yo-yo said, well, no, they're supposed to be hard because the German people like to dunk them in their beer to soften them up. I don't know any better. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then Big Green, I'm pretty sure it was Big Green who said, no, they're full of shit. I love Arcane. I want to get to the second season. Love Arcane. Favorite candy or candy bar? Oh, being a fat kid, I've got a lot of favorite candies. I just had a few. This time of year, we get those peppermint puff candies. You know, around Christmas time. My wife just went to the store and she bought me some more. I love those things. There's a lot of favorites. It's hard as far as candy bars. It's hard to beat a Reese's peanut butter cup, though. Second season was fantastic. Yeah, I'm anxious to get back to that, Hank. It does. Now that, again, Big Green has explained it to me, and Jonathan saying the same thing, I'm sure it was just I got a bad one. So next time I'm going to do it. Next time we go to Disney, I'm going to make it a point, actually, to go back and get one from Germany and see if it's hard again. Because I never got another because I thought that's how they were made, and I didn't like it. Jonathan says, Curtis, I promise you, if someone takes a pretzel and dips it in German beer, he won't get back home. Shit, he won't live to eat it. Big Green says that those must have been some thin fucking pretzels if they were hard. No, it was thicker and still hard. Pretzels are supposed to be soft and chewy. That's what I thought. The thin ends will maybe be hard, but not the whole fucking pretzel. Guy's full of shit. Yeah, I should have expected as much, Big Green, because it didn't make any sense to me. Because Germany is famous for their pretzels, and I just love pretzels. And so for somehow somebody in that shop it was an old one, and it didn't get rotated out of its display case or something. But next time I get to go to Disney, that's going to be my thing. I'm gonna get a pretzel again. Peppermint Hershey Kisses are good too. Yes, agreed, sweet dude. I got them for sale the day after Christmas. Yeah, those peppermint puffs too. Same thing. After Christmas, you get great deals on them. Oh, the caramel popcorn is excellent. Brother E says, I got the caramel popcorn and the cinnamon bun at the German Pavilion. We love both of those things. Yeah, the cinnamon buns are great. Well, now you guys actually got me jazzed up for it. I'm going to get that pretzel again. And if it's hard, I'm going back in there and say, listen, assholes, I got it from the mouths of actual German people, not people in Epcot in Orlando, that this is not how this pretzel is supposed to be. Big Green says, also dipping pretzels in beers. What kind of yo-yo told you that? You don't do that either? That's a waste of pretzels and beer. Over here, you get shit kicked out of you for something like that. Jesus fucking Christ. So as somebody who didn't know, and I should have expected as much, Big Green, somebody who didn't know a goddamn thing, but just wanted to appear as if they had knowledge. Big surprise. But now, you got me jazzed up because I'm going to go back and get one. I haven't gotten one again since that. Jonathan says, go to a German bakery in the morning. Well, that's what the gang's talking about, Jonathan. That bakery they have in the German pavilion. Oh, so good. So good. Big Green says, did he fucking wear Bavarian lederhosen too? Fucking idiot. What are the odds I could run into him again, Big Green? Maybe I can be in Disney World same time this guy is again. And he didn't have, it's not like he had a German accent or anything. So, Squid Game 2 yet? Zuchan, I just posted the reaction to episode 1. I'm not sure if it's going to stay up here. Just if you
about my animation? Shut the fuck up, Sonic! You jabbering dickhole forcibly ejaculated
excuse me.
Pocket pussy.
Bitch!
Sending nuclear bomb to the coordinates of the person who uses Sonic's voice next.
Ladies, it's not perverted to say that you have great boobies.
No, it's complimentary.
We just admire your assets.
I like Patrick's voice.
Take it from a local
he's really
pervert.
Dave from Local Pervert. He's really been hitting up today. Yeah, Squid Game is up at Spaz Boys. I'm gonna wait and see. Right now, it's not doing well. It's doing a little better as it's been up for a while. If it does poorly, I'll probably end up moving it over to Grandpa Curtis. But I'll give it till tomorrow anyway and see how it's doing. Big Green says he probably spoke in a Hollywood German accent. Yeah. Well, again, that's the good thing about it, though, is now I'm looking forward to going back and getting another one. Gimster says, speaking of pretzels, I remember I told the old guy they're supposed to be hard while selling him a month-old pretzel. Easiest money I made that week. It wouldn't even be bad if it was the people that sold it to me. It was just some random that said it. Brother, he says, Curtis, which Disney Resort or hotel is your favorite? If you had to rank them, would it be? Ooh, it depends for me, Brother E, on if it's a family trip or just me and my wife. If it's just my wife and I, we had such a great time at Grand Floridian. But that's for a family. That one wouldn't be it. Believe it or not, for a family, even though it's one of the
what did I ever do
cheaper
to piss
resorts,
off Homer Simpson? And good job now you nuked Guatemala. I was chilling there.
I don't know, Sonic. You seem to be pissing a lot of people off lately with very little effort. Is Pop Century. We love the pool at Pop Century, and plus I think we have a lot of great memories there. Brax and I would go into because they play music underwater in the pool. When Brax was little, him and I would go underwater and we'd play Name That Tune, and so there's most all the resorts we've loved, and right up there too is obviously Animal Kingdom Lodge. But when you have a family, if you can do Animal Kingdom Lodge and if you can get a Savannah view, oh, that's amazing. I haven't seen Oppenheimer going nowhere. We were talking about that earlier. I would like to see that. Jonathan says a good old Wiener Schnitzel is an experience. Yeah, how spicy are they though, Jonathan? I can't do anything with spices. I'm a big bitch. I mean, a super pussy when it comes to anything with spice. Jeff. Oh, you guys are brutal with the puns today. Did you hear about the fight in the fish and chip shop? A fish got battered. Michael says, never actually been to Disney. Would you recommend it? Oh, of course. If I went, it'd only be for frozen stuff. I don't know if I could stomach being in California, though. Oh, no. I think, Michael, you want to do Disney World in Orlando, Florida, rather than Disneyland in California. They have, the frozen stuff. Yeah, they have a frozen boat ride. If you're a Frozen nut, you'll love that. And you can meet Anna and Elsa while you're there.
And yours when you're bad at video games. And Jar Jar because he's a bitch.
Understandable, Sonic. Going nowhere says pizza or ice cream. Yes. I've heard good things about Hacksaw Ridge, Gimster. I've had a number of people tell me Hacksaw Ridge is good. Brother E says, so I did resort hopping and saw most of the hotels. I have to argue Wilderness Lodge is by far the best hotel. We haven't. That's one of the few we haven't stayed at. We've been there to eat and everything. So I can give you a better idea if we ever get to stay there. Of my opinion, I mean. Although Grand Floridian and AK Jumbo were both right behind. Wilderness has a great theme. Right. Wilderness theming is great. But again, when it's just the two of us, we love Grand Floridian. We even have a specific room number we ask for if we can get it there and stuff. Room we stayed in, we loved. But yes, Jumbo House, definitely if you do Animal Kingdom. Definitely Jumbo House. Ashton
Whoever
says
the words like Homelander. Movie shows have not need, have to got to going to what do, did, does, goes, go, fart, penis. You butthole butt, butt cheeks, booty boobs, and lastly, urinary infection. Is gay. I don't make the rules.
Nope, don't make the rules. Just live by them. Oh, shit. It's not spicy. Schnitzel is just fried, flattened breaded meat. Oh, then I would absolutely try that. I would absolutely give that a shot. like I say, I just can't handle any spices. I'm such a baby. And Ashton, I was reading, says, hey, man, I finally caught my first live. Oh, cool. Love you, man. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I am. I'm glad you were able to pop in with us. Favorite pizza topping, Jimmy, is good Italian sausage. We have one place by us that has
hit with a
excellent
brain
sausage.
damage curse? What did he say?
I'm not sure. But apparently it's his world and we're all just living in it because he's going off today. I've never been to an Oktoberfest, Michael. No, I haven't. You have it with squeezed lemon juice? Really? That's interesting. I like lemon too. That's interesting. Do I like Italian subs? Well, the problem with me, Emery, is I don't like any
Italian sausage.
I do. Big Italian sausage. Big thick Italian sausage. I don't like everything I do is plain. I don't like lettuce. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like any type of condiments. So an Italian sub for me would be just the meats and the bread. Would I like that? Yes. But it's not really an Italian sub anymore. How many tattoos do I have? Just 2. I got this one first. The Super Troll. In wrestling, I was known as Super Troll Curtis Candy. It was just a nickname I had. So I wanted to remember that. And I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. And being a Notre Dame fan, I despise USC. So these are their 2 mascots. And you can see my leprechaun is yoking up the USC Trojan. When I went to get the tattoo done, my nephew does the tattoos for me. I was gonna have the leprechaun stabbing him in the fucking head because I wanted him to die. My wife begged me to not do that. She says, it's gonna be on your body permanently. It doesn't have to be that violent. So I agreed, and we just had him yoking him up.
I can get you Italian sausage.
That's just the sub, right, Big Green?
Meat is.
Wow. And I'm dumb enough to do it. All right. He can even give it to me out of the back of a windowless van. I'll still do it. Oh, I got to go, guys. This was fun. I always love these Ask Me Anything streams. As I said, we've got my great niece and nephew here, and they're all probably downstairs waiting for me so they can make their pizzas for dinner. This has been a lot of fun. Consider getting more tattoos. I thought about it for a while.
How did the game go anyway?
Maybe.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, the game? My game went great. Our defense played out of their minds and we beat Georgia. On to next Thursday when I'll have another heart attack. We'll be right back. And there's our boy Plankton. That means we've completed another stream. That's the only way I know for sure that we have. Again, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the great questions. I don't think I'd buy a DVC. Remind me, Brother E, we'll talk about it in the stream. I'll tell you why. Not that they're bad. I have very specific reasons why, because we've looked into it before, but I'll tell you why. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. This was a ton of fun. I'm going to try and stream some on the weekends. I don't have Saturday football anymore, so hopefully we'll be able to so we can hang out some more. Until then, I'll see you guys real soon. And again, thanks so much for hanging out with me.